Tonight, from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storyline. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now back to throw. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Caught right side. It's Lewis. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Back to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Who
are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll look to throw again. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they're they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Gets past one man. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Taylor. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle, but collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on 1st and goal.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Trey Hendrickson able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go.
Of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So now the Bengals get ready for their first drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Palmer now to throw on 3rd down. Johnson's got it complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. Now Palmer. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain. I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw is Palmer. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Palmer. And he fires one incomplete. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Throwing is Palmer. He finds his man Johnson. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. The numbers for Eifert in that game last week. 7 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Now it's a nice job there pulling that one in. Now this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit. And this is a guy the defenses had better focus on. On 2nd down, Dillon. And he's brought down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively. No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. They'll look to run with Dillon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right now. I think what they're saying is, we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone. Now for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with a Bengals score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. To return, here's Agnew. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to, at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, you know, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives,
Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. Down to the 25. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Palmer now. And a catch made by Johnson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now it's Palmer. He's got it. Touchdown. A.J. Green. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A give for Dillon running right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Palmer. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
And now out come the Jags.
They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Palmer will throw. And it's caught. Well, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out in the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now Palmer to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon.
And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And his kick here is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
This Bengal defense now making their way back out onto the field. And they have forced now 4 turnovers, Mr. Davis. How have they been so effective?
It's hard to get a read on them if you're on offense because they're coming from different angles, different formations, different looks. But bottom line is, if I'm the defensive coordinator, anything on my play sheet appears to be working right now. You point it out all the time when we call games. Once they get that first one, it becomes a frenzy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's snowballed here in this one.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll look to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. From the shotgun. But he takes it up to the 40.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. It's complete to Eifert. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Palmer to throw again. Green brings it in. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
7 yards the pick up there.
On 2nd down now. Dillon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Throwing now, Palmer on 1st down. Complete, it's Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run on 1st down. Dillon, and the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. minutes remaining in this first half of football. Off the play fake. Here's Palmer. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And this one is right through. And the lead now increases to 20-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Man open is Robinson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Jaguars are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now Palmer looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they have a first down and well into field goal range also at the 16 now. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And Lewis has it, the tight end.
7 yards, the pickup there.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
2nd and 3 from the 9.
He'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10.
So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, Charles, thanks very much. Welcome in, everybody, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's take a look at what we've got on tap as we wrap up the first quarter of the NFL season. We'll start in the early window and begin up in Minneapolis. A tough one for the homestanding Vikings as they'll match up against the Cleveland Browns. Later in the afternoon, a lot of the country will be watching the game at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it'll be the Packers taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then, on Sunday night, the one everyone's talking about, Brady and the Bucs heading to New England to take on the Patriots. Do not miss that one. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Now Jones. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Palmer. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. On second down, Dillon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 53 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Palmer to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Now a handoff to Dillon.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Back to Dillon on 1st down.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. On 2nd down, Palmer. Johnson with a completion over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Back to throw. Palmer. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Palmer. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll make this.
Going back to it, I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 22-yard line. To throw again, it's Palmer. Looking for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And I guess right now as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be. Exactly what you said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Yeah, they disrupted already for 3 INTs. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Caught, right side, it's Lewis. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as he'll get to him at about the 33. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
72 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now they'll throw it with Palmer. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll throw on first down here with Palmer. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw is Palmer. Short pass, Eifert on the receiving end. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there.
So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked somewhere else, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They're going to look to throw. Jones has it. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. And he can't escape, and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Looking here for Smith downfield.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On 1st down, Dillon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
They run once more with Dillon.
And he is close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 25. And the Bengals on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 2.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, complete. It's Robinson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Back to throw again. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. They'll run on 1st down. Dillon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Again, it's Dillon.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
103 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Palmer. Fighting through, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
Try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
From the gun, it's Dillon.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Palmer. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. And his kick is good. And that will make the lead now 26. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over.
And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. 2nd and 2. Completes it to Hearns. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Robinson's got it. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. The throw over the middle taken in. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's complete to Robinson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. This is caught. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. They'll drop to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The drive starts with a carry by Dillon.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
124 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. On 2nd down, another run for Dillon.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last point of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cincinnati, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Jack.